and welcome to Riverside Crafts this afternoon. I'm going to be showing you how I make this nice little basket. Really cute as a spring gift. You can use it as a gift bag quite happily and do nice for kids to put their Easter eggs in. So I'm going to show you how I make it and how I make some of the flowers as well while I'm at it this afternoon. Day's gone too quickly for me. Right, the dies that I'm going to be using today are Riverside Craft dies. I'm going to be using this flower set, the leaf set, and then this flower set. Okay, just so that you know which dies I'm actually going to be using. They are available in Riverside Crafts at the moment. They've got them in. Well, they did have them in yesterday anyway, so I'm sure they are. Welcome Chris and welcome Carol. It's nice to see you. Right, first things first, you need a 9 by 9 inch square. Okay, when you've cut your 9 by 9 inch square, you're going to do some score lines. The first score lines you're going to do are at 3 and 6. Then you're going to turn it again and do it at 3 and 6. And you're going to turn back. And you're going to do 1, 2, 7 and 8. But you're stopping here on this line. And you do the same on the other. Okay, so this is what your score lines will look like when you have finished doing all the scoring. Your next thing is you're going to trim down these lines. So these ones here you're going to trim, but you've got to stop there. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in and I'm going to line it up and I'm going to just trim where I need to. Come on, you. Not there. Let's get you where I want you. There we go. Roughly there. 1. I use my paper trimmer because I get a little bit more accurate than I would do with my scissors. Because as much as I'm quite good with them, I wouldn't get it as neat. So it just makes it a little bit neater for me. Okay. Just do all of them. Hi Brenda and hi Karen and welcome, and Roseanne, nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice day. It's been interesting for you today. And bits. Too far. Looks like I need to kit myself a new blade. I'll have to do that next time I'm in the shop. It's starting to get a bit tatty. Right, so this is my bit all now cut up. I'm just going to fold these up at their scored piece. Okay, so they're just going upwards like so. Right. Now, first things first, we're going to make our basket up into its shape. So we're going to be gluing these two here together and put them so that they make a nice point. So you're always wanting as close as possible to the points being. When it comes to glue, less is best because it will hold better. Okay, so that's one done. And I'm going to do the next ones, and again I'm going to do to where they cross, just so that we're keeping the same sort of feeling on it. So it's just going to where it crosses, and then trying to keep myself all in line. Okay, so that's that one done. And then the last two, I'm going to try and make them into a straight line. Okay, so we're going to try and make those look like a straight line. So we do that like so. Now I'm just going to get a clip to hold that together while I do the other side. And it gives you this nice pattern then, which looks quite nice when you're doing it. And so that's quite... Hi Alison and Sarah, welcome today. So again, I'm making the point on the first one, and then the next one. And I know I'm going the first one side is always going to go down first, so that I keep my pattern even. So it's always going to be going opposites. Now again, I've got to keep the top one straight, so I'm just going to put my glue down and do that right, so it's nice and straight. Yep, there we go. Another bit there for a minute. Right, so that's the base of my basket. Okay, looking quite neat and tidy. Now I'm going to do my lid. Now I've measured it all out and scored it ready. Okay, yep, I'm still right. Now this is 4 inches across and 6.5 inches long. 1/2 inch score all the way around the outside edge. You need to find your middle, which is 3¼ inches, and you do a line there, and then you do one at 3.5 and one at 3. So you're going to go either side. All right. And now we're going to make this up to look like a. Now I am going to use my scissors on this one, but I'm going to take there, and I'm just going to take a little bit off of one side. Can you see I've just done a little bit of a nick? That is so that when I fold it in, it will actually. I won't get any overlap. It'll sit in neatly, and it won't sort of like be too bulky on that edge for it. Okay, so just doing that doesn't take many moments. Okay. The other thing I've got to do as well is put a small cut here, going in that line, because that is going to be where the brad and everything is going to go through when I put the handle on, and just helps it to sit better. So I'm going to fold my edges up. Okay, and I'm just going to glue these in. So I'm going to put my little tabs going there, and I'm going to put it in, and I can hold it in place. So I can put that there, or I can get one of my little clips out while I'm doing it. Pegs are quite useful for this. Makes life a bit easier, not got to hold so much. Or you could use red line tape, but I tend to use wet glue for most projects. I think it's sort of they stay longer. It sort of finishes it better for you at the end. The red tape can make it bulky, especially when you're doing a lot of bits all together. So I tend to be more of a glue girl for that one. And again, I'm using my favourite glue, which is the Pin Flares bookbinding glue. Hi Carol and Carol, welcome. Hope you're all okay, and thank you for watching. Right, so I'm just going to take one of those off there for a minute. Now that's that bit done. Okay, now you can see that this is too high here. Okay, all I'm going to do is just fold it down. Okay, I'm not going to do anything else because that will help my stuff in a bit. It will just give me a bit more of something to sit things onto when I'm doing the inside. Okay, right, so my handle, it is 1/2 inch wide, and it is, I can't remember, my brain's gone. I did write it somewhere. Did I? Or maybe not. And 9 inches long, so it's the same. So it's the same length as your square. Okay, and that's going to. And I've used my corner rounder just to tidy it up. Now, to make it central, because of its size, you're literally probably going to be lining it up with your line there, and that gives you a nice central line. So I'm just going to put a hole through. Put a brad on it. Make sure your fingers are out the way of your pokey tool when you do this, because the last thing we want is lots of holes in fingers. And you can get all sorts of brads. I've just got some here that I've had around for a while. and I thought, oh, they'll do for today. So there are all sorts of brads out there and colours, and Riverside has a good selection normally, so that's quite good to go and have a nose. Or you can use all those ones that you've been hoarding, you don't know what to do with. There we go, just put that over there. Put this one in first. Put that on, push it through. Cute. There we go. That's done. Do this side. So it's quite simple, this bit. It's quite quick. Nice way to do a little gift basket. Put some chocolates in it, or some shortbread, or some truffles that you've made. It's a nice, and it's really they make a really good baby gift as well, because you can just about get a newborn baby grow and a couple of pairs of socks in it. So it makes a nice gift that way as well. So that's that done. As you see now, we've got our basket all sorted. Hi Sharon, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to check that my lid fits. It should do. The measurements should be right. Yep, there we go. One lid to go on in a minute. Don't need it on yet. So I'm just going to do, and I'm just going to fold on my score lines that I've put in here. Just because I'm going to want it to be able to be open. Now you can decorate your lids. I have on me, this one, I've put some lace that I've cut out around the edge to make it look a bit more sort of picnic basket-y. Or you can make it quite simple. It's your choice when it comes to the end of it. But now I'm going to show you how I make my flowers, just because I think that'll be an interesting thing to do with you. And I'll show you how I make my chick. Actually, I'll do that first, because that's... I had Caroline wondering how I did this morning, the other day, and I thought, well, it's easy. But obviously it wasn't. Because this is my chick, okay? And his wing is here. All right, so there he is. All he is, I don't know if you've seen, if you look online, you'll see the yin-yang sign. So if you cut yourself a circle out, find yourself a yin-yang sign, draw it on, and what you'll get is two chicks when you cut it out. Let me get my nice white scissors that got a smooth edge. Here we go, these ones. So, and all I'm going to do is just cut very carefully. Through my circle. And there we go, two chicks, one for each side. And then I'm just going to put my beak on and my wing, and I'm sorted. So the chicks are quite simple. So it's just a circle die and then the yin yang sign, and it makes life very simple. Right, flowers. I've been making all sorts of flowers today. So I've got like a little tiny dandelion. My brain's gone. Daffodil. There we go. There's another one. A mini one. And bits. Now these are all made. All these different flowers that I'm just pulling out here are made from those two sets I just showed you. Some of them are made from both sets together. Some are made using one set only. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I did first. The first thing I'm going to show you is this one, because I thought you might like to. That one's quite spectacular, I suppose, in flower making terms. So here we go. Now I use my pokey tool quite a lot, and I've got a round ball tool I use a lot as well with making my flowers, as well as a pair of small scissors, which just make life a little bit easy. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just gently roll the end of the flower petals around my awl or pokey tool, whatever you want to call it, and just do. And it comes up, it gives you this, gives your petals a nice shape. Okay, so you do that going around quite happily. Okay, you do the same on the next one. So you're going to go around and put your petals on, and just gently doing your curling on the edges. Okay, a little bit of glue. So put a bit of glue in the middle. Put your flower on. Make sure it's offset to the one before so that all the petals are covering over the gaps. Push down on your foam mat with your ball tool so you start to shape your flower. Okay, now I'm going to do a cut, and I'm just going to cut into the in between two petals into the middle, because I'm going to glue two petals together. Okay, so those two are going to get glued together, and it's going to make me a 4 shaped flower, if that makes sense. A 4 petal flower shape. I'm just going to again go around and bend my flowers quite happily. Try and keep it into the camera, not going too far away. Hi Anne and Wendy and Celia, welcome. Hope you're enjoying watching me make flowers today. This is one of the things I really enjoy to do. It is a class that we do at Riverside sometimes, but with COVID being on, we've not been doing as many, but we are getting a new schedule out, which will be really good. Looking forward to that. Right, the next one, you're going to actually cut out a whole petal. So you're going to trim out a whole petal, but don't bin it, you're going to want it, okay? You're going to glue those petals on top of each other, so you've got end up with 3 petals. Okay, go around and do exactly the same as you did before, in that you are rounding off your edges with your pokey tool to make your flower go. Okay, just doing those. Put a bit of glue in the middle, and then we're going to push down again with our pokey tool. Okay, you will see now how we're getting on. It's looking good. All right, and then the last one, you're just going to roll this round your pokey tool and make like a tube. Okay, now and on it you'll have a spiky bit. That bit needs to come off because it's going to be in the way, so we're going to trim it flat for a minute. Okay, and we're going to put a blob of glue in the middle, and then this just stands in the center of your flower like so, and then you've got your little flower that you've just done like that. So it's quite quick and simple, really. It doesn't take too much to do. Right, the next one I'm going to do is the daffodil, because it's nice, it looks nice, and we're going to be using one of the other shaped flowers. We're going to be using one of each shape for this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go round this, and I'm bringing it up to the middle. If you can see, I'm just shaping my petals so that they've got this, so they will round up for me. Okay, and what I'm just going to do is push them into the middle so that they will round quite nicely. So that's that bit done. Okay, the next bit I do is I'm going to put a score mark in these petals, just so it just gives them a bit more of a shape. If you can see, I'm just laying down the edge of my pokey tool and pulling it back. I'm not scratching it, I'm just using the foam and a little bit of pressure to keep a shape. Okay, so I'm just going to put a blob of glue in the middle and put that down. Okay, now I've got the base of the daffodil. I'm going to come back to putting the stamens in a minute when that's dried, because obviously you can see I've got stamens in the middle of these ones, and I'm going to show you my little trick for doing that so you don't end up with them all over the place. Right, we're just going to do another quick flower that won't take too much to do. This one again is just a score through the middle all the way around, like so. You're going to pinch at the ends, so you're just going to pinch the end bits in, so it sort of gives you a bit of a thing. I'm going to do the same with this one. This is just normal bog standard cream cardstock. It's actually the hammered cardstock that we have in the shop, because it's what I've got really. So it was just what was there. So it's not any special cardstock for doing this with. I'm not using anything different to what you've probably got in your stash, or what you can get hold of quite easily anyway, so that's not a problem. And I'm just going to push down the middle, so that then gives me my nice star. Okay, right, hi Natalie, welcome. I'm just going to show you now how I do my stamens. First thing first is that I have a piece of wire folded in half. Okay, now I'm just going to grab a few. There we go, and I put them into the middle so then they go, the bit of wire goes through the middle of them. Okay, I'm just going to squinch it shut a little bit so that I've got them all in where I want them to be. Okay, now I'm going to use the bigger one because I might as well, because it'll be easier today for you to see. Okay, I'm just going to use my poker tool and push a hole through the centre of my flower. Okay, now my wire's going to go in through that hole. I'm just going to pull my stamens in place, and then they're there. I'm not having to argue with them. I'm not trying to work out how to get them where I want them to be. And I've got lots of glue that I'm getting all over my fingers. I've literally just pulled them through, and I've got my wire on the back to just pull out in a second. There we go. And then my stamens are in place. So I do exactly the same for all of them. So I'll just do this one again so you can see that the hole in the middle. So the hole's gone in the middle. Okay, get myself some more stamens out my box. I've got a few here. Oh, here we go. Going everywhere. No, we don't need them all. I'll just put some back. I've got too many there. Pick that one up. And we can pick that one up. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put them in my wire again through the middle, bend them in half so they go nicely up, and then I'm just going to poke my wire through the hole I've just made with my pokey tool and pull the stamens through. Just take my time, wiggle it in, don't pull too hard, you don't want everything to be falling apart on you, and just take your time and pull it through. Okay, come on you. There we go, done. Right, there we go. So we've got, that actually looks more like a fuchsia now. Look. Okay, so we've got a nice mix of flowers here. You can see this one looks like a little fuchsia, and I'm going to show you how I make them go onto my box now. Right, I'm going to just fiddle a minute and get my lid on. And I'm just going to, that cut goes either side of where the brad is. So you're just going to have to, you just sort of fiddle it in and it goes in. Okay. And it should go down if you've got everything in the right places. There we go. There we go. That's better. So my lid is now sat in position. Okay. And I'm just going to open one side. So it's got, looks like a picnic basket now. And I'm just going to put some flowers in. I've got some leaves that I cut earlier from leaf dies. Okay, and I'm going to use glue dots because I want instant fix. I don't want it all falling off while I'm trying to get everything in place, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have a little bit of an instant fix with glue dots today, which makes life a little bit easier for what I'm doing. So I'm going to have some coming on the side, like so. And I don't need to put too much pressure on it for the glue dot to hold, which makes life a bit easier so I don't flatten them out. Right, so that's one in. I'm not going to use the pink one today. I'm going to keep them all cream because I think it'll look pretty if they're all the same tone. And that. Glue dot. Glue dot. Now, if this is going to be in the way, just trim them off, but make sure you've got some glue holding them in place prior to doing that, so you don't end up with them doing everything you don't want them to. Okay, so we've got a glue dot there. I'll put that one in, so it's going to go just there. Done. As you can see, I'm just placing them in different places as I go around. Now I'm going to put a leaf behind this one over the top of the stamens so that the glue dot has got plenty of stuff to hold on to. So that's going to go and be just inside, hanging out like so, because that works quite nicely. Do another leaf on it. Okay, put this around this side for me, and it can go underneath and hang down from this glue dot like so. Need a few more on this side, don't we? Put a big one on this side. Let's take off this glue dot here, this one. Okay, so as you can see, we're building up quite nicely now, which helps, doesn't it? Hi Jill and Akhtar, thank you for dropping me in today and joining us. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. As some of you might know, I film this on my phone and it's actually upside down, so I'm reading back to front and upside down, trying to work out who's where and who said hi. So please forgive me if I've got it wrong. It wasn't intentional. It's just what happens when you're upside down and back to front. Right. We are more or less there now, I think. So it now looks like it's absolutely full of flowers. So we can put, basically I just then glue in leaves as I need to. So my leaves get glued in now to fill any gaps. And I just put them in and hold, let them decide where they're going to be and what they're going to do. Okay, I hope you can see it all, how it's all coming together now. I have to say I'm very excited. I'm going back to teaching at the shop, so I shall be on the new schedule when we get it sorted. Hopefully I'm more excited about it because it'll be nice to be able to go back and do some teaching and see everybody again. It's been a bit of a lonely couple of years being stuck at home, hasn't it? For those of us that haven't been able to go out very far. But now that we've all vaccinated and things, we're going to have to start life back to normal, I suppose. Okay, so there we go. I've got my basket of flowers with my leaves on it, and then I put a tag on, which can be anything, a decorative tag to hold it all in place, and then a bit of ribbon or some twine, however you fancy finishing it off for yourself. Then it's up to people's personal taste, really, isn't it, from there? And but that's basically how I do my flower baskets, and they all sort of come in from there. That one does not want to stay in place today. Typical. There we go, that's better. But it's just a nice thing to do, and you get to have a bit of a play and you can put your greenery wherever you want and add more in or take it out as you go along, which is quite nice. I like to use a bit of twine on them because it sort of brings them back to feeling a bit more gardeny, a bit more sort of like they should be. So I tend to do a quick wrap around the handles, which is quite nice. So I hold you there for a moment, and then I just do a quick and that. So hi Maria, hi Kay. Next week I'm doing a card topper. We've got some beautiful paper packs in bits at the moment, and I was just going through them, and I found one that it just appeals to me because it had poppies on it and bits, and I was like, do you know what, I really like that. Like anything with poppies and red, I love red, so it's one of my favourite colours. So it sort of hit everything where I wanted it to be, which was good. Take that off there a minute. Hold that down. There's a clip so that stays there where I'm gluing it. Okay, so I've got my little bit of a on the top there. Take this piece here and I'm going to tie it into a bow. So I've got a little bow on it. There we go. It's nice. I can put one of my flowers up here. This was my glue dot gone. Here it is. I need a little leaf. That one will be good. Okay, that's done that bit. Just going to trim off those extra bits there because I don't want them to show, do we? And we can put my little flower just here. So I've got a little flower now sitting on the top of the base on there, like so. And there's the other bit. Let me just show you what we're doing next week quickly before we say goodbye. There we go. Let's get that right. So here's some sentiments. These sentiments are from the same pack that I was just talking about that I'm going to be using next week, but they're just nice. So I'm just going to cut a quick sentiment off here. So, and then that is what I would be using to finish this off. There we go. And that is my finished flower basket. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at how I do my flowers and how this basket gets made, which is quite quick. Really useful to do lots of different options with, so you can sort of put some chocolates in it and leave it nice and open. Do it in your pretty papers that you've got, which is nice way of finishing it off, and you can put a little present in there for somebody. So it's just a nice way of doing something and just having something a little bit different for everybody, which is always a good thing. Right, next week we're going to be doing this one. So I hope you will join me next week, and look forward to seeing you. This is one of the new paper packs I was saying about we've had in, and I just really liked it. So I thought I'd change it up and make my own decoupage. I'm going to show you how I do that. All right. Hi, Joanne, and thank you for joining me, and everybody else who joined today. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.